Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Jasmine, and here I am today. Oh my god, I gotta put this on. Recording. So I always use this as a really nice little voice memo thing. I have to leave like ASAP because buses are coming and I have to catch them to get to class. But I wanted to make a video that I've been meaning to do for like ever, which is what's it like to want to study abroad. And I've been wanting to make this for like months, back when I still had black hair. I made the video and you know what happened? My camera got stolen. That's a story for another video if you guys want to watch it. I'm not sure if you do, but here I am real quick trying to do a 5-minute recap and highlight some really important points about what it's like to study abroad, like questions or whatnots. So I wrote some things down. I'm gonna look to my computer on here and let's get started. So when did I know that I wanted to study abroad? I wanted to study abroad since I was in high school because I originally am from Iran and I wanted to see more of the world, and I thought it was really interesting to live in the US and the way that things differed, and I thought about how it would be lovely to kind of go somewhere else and see how that also changes, you know, your mindset and your viewpoints. And I was really curious about wanting to do it since like high school, but I knew it was like this big thing that I practically impossible. That's what I wanted to do. I think the first thing that you really need to do within study abroad is research, and that sounds more intimidating than it is. Like, it's not. Like, you just have to look into your school, the college that you're at, your uni if you're doing Erasmus, and see what like programs they offer. And so I just started to kind of go through them, and something my mom said which was really important and that stuck out to me was look for a university that is better than already like where you are, because then when you go abroad you're already going to have the experience of being abroad and having a really fantastic time on top of going to an even more prestigious university, which is going to be better for your career, whatever subject you guys may be studying. So I go to Rutgers, and Rutgers is already a really good and prestigious school, but I thought about other schools that could be like on top of that. So already I had ruled out a few of like those party schools. Let's just go to Italy and Spain where the weather's nice and have fun. Woo! Yeah, no. You could still have fun and go to a fantastic university where the coursework and the stuff that you have to do is, you know, rigorous in a not intimidating way, but in a intellectually positive way. So within that, you have to start thinking about the country, because you know, you really studying abroad is about like narrowing down your research and kind of like getting to the point, right? So I was thinking about Germany and I was thinking about England, and what ultimately made me get stuck on England was the fact that I spoke English and not German. Ich bin Jasmine, ich weiß nein Allemand, no fucking Deutsch. See, I can't speak German. So already that was a huge like tightening of the grip. Okay, I want to go somewhere that speaks English. And Australia, I didn't want to do Australia or New Zealand because I thought that was way too far. You have to really think about like when you're going to go study abroad, how far off do you really want to go? Because I mean, California and New York are huge, they're very far apart. So in the same sense, like how far, like, you know, it's not really about the countries that you're going to go to, it is, but how far away are you comfortable with like venturing out? Like, I would not be comfortable venturing out to Japan right now. Well, right now I might be, but then no, it would be like, that's a lot. So I knew that I wanted to be within Europe, and I knew that I wanted to be an English-speaking country, so England. So I thought about England. England's a great option. And then from there I started to narrow down my research as well. This is where finances come in, where a lot of people get intimidated by studying abroad because they just assume that you can't study abroad, you can't afford it. But on the contrary, one major key is you find a university that's not like in London, and it'll be significantly cheaper, and the quality of life will be the same, it'll be fun, it'll be great, and you won't be as expensive. Like, your apartments won't be as expensive, your tuition won't be as expensive, food, grocery wouldn't be as expensive. So from then on, I was like, okay, London's like $60,000 for the year and I can't afford that. That's fine. And so London was out from then on. Then I started looking at Bristol, University of Manchester. I looked at Brighton, and from there on, what my mom said about finding a university that's better than what you were already in started to come in. So at the time, I was still doing computer science, information technology, and informatics. Those were the interesting times. So I was looking for the best universities globally on Europe, comparable to Rutgers, and the best one was the University of Manchester. And from then on, I started comparing, because I really like Brighton. I think Brighton's where the water, or was it Bristol? I'm not sure which one was my second choice right now, but I was really comparing from then on because, okay, well, Manchester was a bit better than the other one, but what type of city do I want to be in? So I looked at it. Manchester's a really vibrant city. It's like the jewel of like the north of England, like after London. A lot of people are like Manchester. So I really considered that as well. I read on Rutgers study abroad page about like what you can expect in Manchester or Bristol, and then I did a lot of YouTube search of like vlogs in Manchester or vlogs in Bristol, and from then on I kind of was like, okay, Manchester's standing out to me a little bit more. And you could have 3 options at this point, that's okay, like, but at that point where you have like a top 3, you can really start thinking about like, okay, what type of vibe do I want, what type of university do I want, what type of weather and climate is the thing. All of these things can be limiters to like where you want to go. And financially as well, Manchester was way less expensive than London or any other universities, so that also was another option. I was like, it's a great school, it's a great location, and the price as well, which is like, you're like, how can it exist? It exists. For example, if I wanted to go to Turkey, I would have actually paid less for school if I had gone and studied abroad in Turkey with the programs that Rutgers was offering at the time. So never put out studying abroad for the finances. Like, I'm telling you, like, it's possible. So then on, compare price, compare location, all that stuff. Then, once you've like looked at the money stuff, you find your top 3 schools, you're gonna look at your curriculum at your home university and whether the classes that you need to take are going to be available. This is like, honestly, the hardest part is this. Mixing and matching the program that you're basically like making the program that you have at home abroad. So I like looked at the other courses that I wanted to take at Rutgers, and I started trying to find them in Manchester. But I feel like everyone that goes to Rutgers University knows RU Screw, which I found out in the midst of my research that you could only take 2 classes abroad that were going to transfer toward your major for information technology and informatics. And I was like, girl, what the hell? So I decided to focus on core curriculum, which is something that we do here at Rutgers. So then I found like, I need this math class and this science class. Let me try to find them at Manchester. And from then on, you have to go to every single department that you want to find the class in, email them, go in person. I suggest emailing, really, it's easier. And say, hey guys, this is the class that Rutgers offers, and I want to see if this, or this class, this, or this class, could meet it, so that if I go abroad, can I take those classes and like have that be a check? And they can email you saying, yeah bro, like this is fine, you can totally take this class, or hey, you can't do that right now, okay? But if you take this class and this class, it could satisfy this class. So you just have to have a communication with like the departments that you're seeking these other classes in. Like, that honestly was the hardest part, kind of going back and forth. But at this point, you can kind of get an understanding of like, okay, does this school offer these courses, or does this school offer these courses? But I've already was kind of like, okay, Manchester, and things were going well, so I didn't need to like stop and like decide to choose another university at this point. My card got full. I'm back. Anyways, where were we? This is a longer video than I expected. It's already 10 minutes. I gotta make it quick. Okay, so once you find all the classes and they are working out, you're basically all set. But I forgot to mention GPA, right? So as you're looking at these universities, sometimes they require a particular GPA. And I had a lower GPA than was required for the University of Manchester. But that was because my freshman year, I kind of was just like, I'm gonna take French. Je parle français un petit peu, and I thought that it was gonna be like taking Spanish in high school and easy peasy lemon squeezy. No, it was so hard. I did not know, like I didn't understand what college was going to be like, and I failed, and that really took my GPA down. But then the semesters afterwards, I like studied really hard, and I had basically 3.4 3.5s every single semester. So then I reached out. I still applied to the University of Manchester because I was like, hey, listen, I messed up my first semester, but as you can see, I'm on a trajectory that is just only going upward, so really I'm what you need. And they were like, you're right. So do not let your GPA like inhibit you or make you feel that you can't apply for a particular program, because if you tell them your story, if you're honest, if you're a hard worker, they should understand. So really, don't let that like take you out, and don't let the finances take you out, because I'm a Douglas woman at Rutgers, and I did like a really quick filling out of information for like a scholarship for studying abroad, and like I got $2,000 like that, and I was like, what? It was so easy. I mean, it was like I just wrote my name down, and so then again I had this expectation that like getting scholarships would be like so hard, but you'll be surprised. And I think the biggest thing I want you guys to take away from this video is that like you can study abroad. Like it is so possible. Financial aid transfers, if you keep the full-time student, all the same requirements that you need to have for like a school here. If you go abroad, they're going to transfer. And if you just like talk to people, talk to your school and their studying abroad department, they're all there to help you. So they will make sure that it's possible. So if you look at Turkey, if you look at some relatively cheaper countries, you'll be surprised. You might even save money. Like really the most expensive thing is the airline. And now with Norwegian Airlines, and they're not sponsoring me to make this video, but they should, you can get really, really cheap tickets onto Europe. And I'll make another video about how to travel cost efficiently to Europe and back as a student later, if you guys want. But honestly, the airfare is the most expensive part, and the intimidation is the hardest part to get over. But once you get over it, once you decide that, hey, listen, whatever my GPA, I mean, like, you can't have like a really bad GPA, but like if your GPA is just slightly below, don't let it discourage you. If you think that you can't afford it slightly, don't let that discourage you. There are scholarships, financial aid transfers over. There are programs that might be cheaper. Don't let it discourage you. Do your research and study abroad, because it is everything that everyone ever says. It is the most life-changing, liberating, and empowering experience that you could have. Oh my God. 2 Rutgers kids.